Gondola Vision, Spokane, Tom Foley, and Expo 74. What do they teach us about leadership? Welcome to this special Beau Leadership Group podcast where we're doing a ride-along episode. Today I'm speaking to you from high, not quite high yet, but soon. Very soon it's going to be high, gliding through history, innovation, and timeless leadership. Looking at leadership values right here on the gondolas over Spokane, and we're going over the falls. I don't know if you can see that behind me. We'll be above the city, and I want you to come with me, not just physically, but in your thinking. We're going to be talking about a man who carried not just policy, but people, Tom Foley. My parents were on a first-name basis with Tom Foley, and they helped to promote cooperation with Asian countries around higher education when my father was at Whitman College. But Dad was also a Zag, hard not to say that here in Spokane with all the Gonzaga around, but he was a Zag back when Stockton's dad was a Zag, and he got a penny a word to cover sports for the Spokesman Review. We're going to talk about the World Fair, which built this gondola in 1974. They dared to dream green when no one else did, and we're going to ask some hard, important questions about how we lead when others are losing job, insurance, or maybe even hope, because great leadership is not about just surviving while others suffer. That's barbarism. Real leadership lifts. So join me as we lift above the sacred ground here in Spokane. As we pass over the roaring falls here, let's remember another force of nature, Tom Foley. Tom Foley was more than a Speaker of the House, though he was the Speaker of the House. He was a bridge builder and a deep listener, a man who brought rural eastern Washington and the power of the halls of D.C. into the same conversation. He didn't just posture, he didn't seek viral moments, he sought solutions. Examples of Foley's lifting and his lifting leadership: he expanded food assistance, something near and dear to many people's heart right now as that's in Congress. Rural education, ensuring dignity for struggling families. He pushed for environmental preservation and economic growth before it was fashionable to do both. He mentored younger legislators, even from across the aisle. Leadership isn't just standing tall, it's letting others stand taller because of you. Are you mentoring? Are you making room for others? And do you speak last so others can speak first? You can see the falls behind me pretty well there, I think. Expo 74, green thinking before green was cool. So Expo 74 was the first environmentally themed World's Fair, and it was here in Spokane. I got to stay in a penthouse above the park, across the street from the park, because of Ed Kuhn, who was a banker who also let me ride his horse Huckleberry and shoot an over-under gun for the first time. I was 9 years old, and I later learned I was not that great a horseman and not that great at horsemanship, but Huckleberry was a hell of a horse that let me jump creeks and over fences and chase deer in 1974. Think about how long ago that is. While the world debated pollution, Spokane said, come see the future, and built Expo 74. And advanced thinking, and how the advanced thinking was transforming a polluted rail yard into a world-class park, the park we're in now, Riverfront Park. Global exhibits focused on renewable energy, conservation, and clean living. And you can see behind me, that's the Washington Water Power building. They were my client at one point. And that's visionary leadership. When others say, wait, you say, let's go. 74, they were doing advanced leadership, and smog was bad in LA. Today, others think maybe you're doing something too soon. Are you willing to be misunderstood now so that your city thrives later? What would it look like if your team, family, and company had an Expo 74 moment? And going over the falls here, think about the Indian wisdom both then and now. We're flying over land stewarded for generations by the Spokane tribe. This land wasn't just managed, it was revered. The Spokane tribe's teachings were downstream impact, ecological and relational. Elders guide the young, not just in skill, but in humility and service. And community decisions are consensus-driven, not imposed. What if modern leadership took a cue from this indigenous wisdom? Do you consider the seventh generation in your cities? Are you building systems that honor interdependence, not just independence for yourself, but interdependence with others? How can you learn from indigenous voices today? We're doing leadership in uncertain times and thinking about strength that lifts and carries like a gondola. So in times of uncertainty and layoffs and insurance crises, AI revolutions, we don't need leaders who just survive. We need leaders who create ladders, not walls. A modern application would be building retraining programs for those losing jobs, not just severance. Speaking boldly against policies that hurt the voiceless, even if it costs you. So, start initiatives that give people a path out, not a handout, but a step up. Surviving while others drown is not a strength, it's cowardice. Dressed as, sometimes people say, capitalism. And I love capitalism and economics and productivity and efficiency, but we have to show people how they can participate and thrive. It's 2025 and everyone should thrive, right? So what does it mean to be strong in your context? Are you measuring success by how many people you've lifted or left behind? Will you be remembered as a lifter or a climber? A lifter or a climber? As we glide back down to earth, I want to take you with one lesson from this ride. Elevation is not just for sightseeing, it's for insight. Tom Foley elevated others. 74, Expo 74, elevated ideas. The Spokane tribe elevates the sacred. Who are you elevating today? Visit BeauLeadershipGroup.com if you want to email me and get more information on leadership and how to lead boldly. This is Bob Beaulaurier from Beau Leadership Group, from the gondolas above the Spokane River. Keep rising, because real leaders don't leave people behind. They take you along for the wonderful ride. Bless you.